For this final project, you just need 4mm PTFE Teflon tubing, these PC4 M6 fittings, and a couple of M330 screws. You want to start by removing the screw from the guide rod holder at the top of the printer. Then remove all filament and the nozzle from the extruder. You simply unscrew it. It's very easy. Next, you're going to place the Bowden mount on top of the printer and align the hole with the screw hole that you just removed, and place the same screw that you just removed back into the new mount. And then you want to tighten it with a pair of pliers and your screwdriver. Then I took an M3 nut and attached it to that M330 screw so that it was a little bit too long, so I shortened it a bit by doing it. And it takes 2 of the M330 screws and 2 M3 bolt nuts to attach the extruder. And then you want to plug in your thermistor, and I'm going to reuse my old thermistor connectors and the wires from the main board because I had to cut it for the fan earlier. You unplug your hot end, unplug the thermistor, and those white wires are what we're going to be reusing here shortly. And this is me soldering the new thermistor connection to the old one from the main board. Like I said, I had to reuse it because I cut it earlier for the fan. Just stripping the wires and then soldering them, and then using a bit of heat shrink tubing to make sure that they're not shorted out and that they're connected properly. That's the heat shrink tubing. And after I solder the wires together, I just use a little bit of heat on the heat shrink tubing to ensure that they're connected stably. This is the second wire, and soldering. That's the heat shrink tubing. And you just want to apply a little bit of heat. I'm not sure if you can use a hair dryer, but it'll probably work the same. But I had a lighter, so it's very easy. So you don't want to apply too much heat to melt it. You just want enough so that it shrinks the tubing. And there it goes. Now you have to unattach the old connector from your old hot end wires and replace them with the new hot end, the V6 hot end wires. And orientation doesn't matter. There's no positive or negatives, so it doesn't matter which one you plug into which. That also goes for the thermistor wires, the white ones that you saw me using earlier. There's no positive or negative, so it doesn't matter. Just reconnect them, screw them in, make sure they're nice and tight. Remove the old nozzle, hot end wires, and thermistor wires from your setup. And you want to rewrap them so everything looks nice and pretty when you get done. This is me just wrapping the cables back up. Plug your thermistor back in, and then plug the hot end in. And then you want to plug in your extruder. Plug your extruder back in. And there's a few holes on the carriage that allows for zip ties, so that you can cable manage your fan wires and the anything that's maybe blocking the fan or that could get caught in the fan. This is me just cleaning up the setup a little bit. The holes are a little bit hard to get into, but it takes a little bit of time. But after you get done, it will look very good. and I missed a step, but you want to screw the fitting into the extruder, and then all you gotta do is push on the blue part and then install the PTF tubing to get it in there. And then you want to cut your tubing to fit. Then to get into to this part, all you need to do is push on the little push down the black part and then slide the tubing in. And to get the clip in, all you do is pull up on the tubing and then slide the clip in, like so. And that's it. Subscribe and leave a comment, please.